Hello, and welcome to Robert's 1984 podcast. An outlet such as a podcast allows me to delve into George Orwell's creative writing, how it may affect the storyline, and what impacts it may have drawn from or eventually added to society as a whole. Orwell's work on 1984 is well received by critics and young readers alike, thus explaining its relevance even in a technology-driven world like today. While there are many topics to discuss that bridge together past, present, and potential future ideas, I'd like to focus strictly on media censorship for today's podcast. Media censorship does sound familiar, but do you really know what it means? To keep things short, the simplest definition of media censorship is explained as suppressing speech, thought, or actions that go against a specific person or government's ideas. Censorship, for as many of us may know by now, usually occurs to hide disturbing or unsettling incidents from the public. We don't realize it, but while this is happening, ideals are further instilled into our heads so that our opinions aren't constantly changing. This isn't something that's just recently been presented to us, however. Censoring certain topics has been done for years. News outlets, for example, are constantly reworking stories to fit the ideals that viewers are able to handle. In the end, whether we've found out yet or not, certain subjects may be iffy sometimes and can affect us in a certain emotional sense. So, with the brief definition of media censorship now provided, I'd like to discuss how Orwell made it one of the central and most explained topics in 1984. 1984 envisioned censorship as the act of banning ideas that seem to appear out of thin air, and whose main job is to go against the party in some way, shape, or form. The party is against all sorts of new information, and anything that gives INSOC a bad reputation to the public will be forgotten immediately, almost as if it never happened. This is mainly done because the party does not want, or even need for that matter, any controversy surrounding its name. Those who speak against the party, even in the slightest bit, will most definitely have to pay the price. But how is this censorship conducted in the novel, you may be asking? Well, for starters, the Ministry of Truth is the main group forming this topic. The Ministry of Truth deals with history, art, news, and education. It is simply where lies are manufactured and then distributed. Historical texts are rewritten, and pictures are edited to be of Oceania's current relevance. Anything besides this will be rejected. Winston's job in the Ministry of Truth record department forces him, obviously against his will, to regurgitate what the party wants the population to be aware of. This censorship ultimately attracts people who've heard Winston's ideas, and it gives them a glimmer of hope that they may one day find out what's really going on behind the curtain of INSOC. It's through this almost childlike thought and sudden moment that helps people band together in order to find out the real, and I mean emphasis on real, truth. When the truth is leaked, however, and people begin to spread their newfound good news, so to speak, they're scolded and tortured until they once again believe the preset morals that the party expects them to follow from birth to death. Well, that seems like all the time I have today. Thanks for listening, and remember, Big Brother is watching. Always.